everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope everything is going well today. If this is your first time tuning in, then allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Eileen and I'm a holistic nightlife coach. I get to help people who love the party lifestyle to find their direction in nightlife in the dance music industry so that they can build a life around their passion and feel really confident about the lifestyle that they choose. Now, I want to come on live today with a message of encouragement. So, I want to talk about how the music industry is currently affected by the coronavirus outbreak. I want to share why many of us are using the coronavirus as just another excuse not to have to move forward with building our lives and living our passions, and how now more than ever it's really important to understand that well-being and support and peer support should be prioritized. And lastly, I also want to talk about why being resilient is going to serve you now and in the future after this crisis has passed. I'm not looking with this video to add to the panic or collect troubling stories. I think there's already enough of that going around in the media, and I don't want to add to any fear mongering, obviously. It's just that I know at this point, in any shape or form, many people are affected by this coronavirus outbreak. And in many sectors, obviously, it's not just the dance music industry, but I will stick to the dance music industry because that's what I know best. Now, as I said, the dance music industry has been heavily affected by this virus, by this outbreak and the crisis around it, and is facing a lot of challenges. Now, I really feel like I don't want to talk about this too much, how the music industry has been affected, because I do think many of you already have already learned that many festivals have been cancelled, conferences have been cancelled, obviously, and a lot of artists are suffering because of this. They're losing gigs, they're losing tours, some stuff has been postponed, some stuff has been cancelled. And in a lot of ways, many people have suffered financial losses, economical losses, losing opportunities, and they don't really know how they will be able to bounce back after this. So many of us are, including me, are affected, obviously, by all of these cancellations that were necessary because we don't want to have too many people together and give this virus a chance to spread even further. I think it's already doing a good job on its own, and if we want to stop this, then I'm completely behind all of the measures that have been taken so far, and I do believe we can take more measures. But again, I'm not going to go into that too deeply because I don't want to add to the panic or the discussion there. I think we should leave that up to the other Facebook platforms and politicians and governments. But so, as I said, many of us have been affected, and we're all in this together. And I really want to call for collaboration and peer support, and first and foremost, understanding that well-being and support should be prioritized in this time of need. Now, in any shape or form, if you're active in the music industry, in the dance music community more specifically, I understand that there must be an impact for you and it must be really difficult. And probably your first thing to do is to add to panic, is to go into a panic and to not know what to do. This is probably an unintentional, unconscious reaction that you're having. It's very human. I'm not pointing fingers here. I mean, I was one of the first people to panic as well last week, especially as Belgium was rolling out more measures and it was looking like we were going towards a full lockdown more and more. So that was a little bit scary, and I'm pretty sure many of you can relate to that. But again, I really feel it's important to not let that panic and let that fear control our situation, okay? Now more than ever, I feel it's really, really important to stay resilient. And why is resilience so important? Because first and foremost, it helps us to develop coping mechanisms for situations which can be extremely overwhelming. Secondly, it helps us to maintain balance and remain calm during stressful times so that we can come up with creative solutions for ourselves. Thirdly, it can protect us from developing or furthering mental health issues and difficulties. It can help us boost our quality of life. And lastly, it helps us to come back from failures and disappointments stronger than ever. Now, how you react in times of crisis is actually how you choose to react is vital. It's not just your reaction per se. As I said earlier, many of your reactions were probably unintentional, and that's human. But how you choose to react, how you choose to cope with the situation is actually vital. So I suggest, first and foremost, that you focus on remaining calm and building resilience. Now, the most important thing to do when improving your resilience is to train your perception awareness, the way you see things, not just with your eyes, but first, mostly with your mind, how your perception of things in general, your thoughts and beliefs are. Becoming intentional and purposeful when improving your resilience is really something that is a way for you to put your intention towards what is really needed for you at that time. So it's really kind of like a master key that will help you unlock a process towards actions with effect and actually getting the results that you need and that you want. Now, focusing on training your perception awareness will have an impact on developing different types of areas. For example, it will help you to develop an inner sense of control, the feeling that you're in control of your life and that you get to choose, that you actually have a choice. It will also help you develop self-esteem and believing that you are worthy and of value. It will help you with self-efficiency and self-reliance, knowing that you can do anything you set your mind to. It will help you develop emotion management, positivity and positive emotions, cultivating a sense of well-being and quality of life. It will also help you develop gratitude and appreciation for what you already have and how you can get more of that. It will help you with your goal-setting skills. It will help you with an abundance or a growth mentality rather than a lack mentality, meaning a way of looking at life from a glass half full type of perspective rather than a glass half empty. Now, training your perception awareness is actually something that I do with my clients. It's the first pillar of my 5-step coaching process. I won't go into that too deeply right now, but I just want to share with you that it's something that I find in my work really important. And it is usually a pillar within my well-being coaching process that we spend most of our time on, because usually it's the most difficult pillar to apply changes to, because the way we see things is usually really tied into our beliefs, our thoughts, and our feelings, and it's really difficult sometimes to change those and to really adopt new attitudes towards that. So I wanted to kind of throw that out there, that when people are starting to work with me, the perception awareness pillar is usually the one that we work on first and the one that we spend the most time on. But it's also one of the most rewarding things, because it really opens up your mind to new ways of seeing, and it gives you clarity and brings you much relief and a confidence that really helps you to move forward towards taking actions with effect and seeing results. Now, looking at a situation like the outbreak of this virus clearly is something that you cannot control. this is really something that is outside of your control. I mean, if we would be able to control it, it wouldn't be happening right now. So obviously it's something you can't control. However, you can control how you think and how you feel about it. And it's really important, I think, that you stay calm in this situation so that you can really navigate what's to come for you the coming weeks and what's coming after this crisis has passed. No matter what your situation looks like, I want you to get really intentional about how you choose to feel about this moving forward. So even if you've been in a panic so far, that's okay. Again, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not judging anybody. Again, I was the first one to panic a little bit as well. Luckily, I have an amazing coach who helps me through these kind of situations. So that's really cool. But so I really find it's important that you prioritize your well-being and that you really consider getting support, especially during these times. I really feel like that could be on the top of the list of things that you choose to focus on right now. And I highly encourage you to do so. The choice is yours in the end, obviously. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do? It's your life and you get to choose how you live it. I just feel like I really want to iterate that it's important to think about prioritizing your well-being and getting support, especially now. In doing so, when you choose to prioritize this, you really will have a tool that will help you through this crisis, but more importantly, it will really prime you for what's to come after all of this uncertainty is over, because you also need to be ready for when this crisis is over so that you can hit the ground running, so that you can really move forward really fast, and so that you don't remain stuck in this. In order to do this, obviously, you will need to come up with a plan. So I do believe that many of us are kind of restricted to our homes. So we have more than enough time to come up with creative solutions and to make a plan for ourselves. But I also understand that maybe for many of you, getting support right now is probably not the first thing that's on your mind. I'm betting the first thing that's on your mind is understanding how you will navigate these issues, how you will deal with financial losses, how you will find new opportunities for yourself moving forward. But so really looking into mental health and well-being support right now, I suggest is something that you prioritize, whether it's working with a therapist or a coach or a healer, or joining a workshop or a class, even just learning something new. Like maybe some of you, and I know some of my clients have said this, have wanted to perfect their studio skills, their production skills. So maybe this is the perfect time now to join an online class and invest in that and just really focus on perfecting those skills for the time being. So this could be something that you invest in. Now, also I understand for many of us, we don't really know, our financial situation might remain, unstable, and maybe we don't know when money is going to come in next. Maybe we feel like, we have to be careful with our savings right now, etc. But investing in yourself is really not all about the money. Money is not everything. Money, just like anything else, is energy. It's like your focus, your attention. What you choose to focus on is also energy. So it's really a matter of you deciding where you put your energy. And where you put your energy is where you will see results. Clearly, that may sound logical, but some people really don't make that link. So where you choose to put your energy is where you will see your results. So I hope for you that you choose to put your energy towards something positive for yourself so that you can come out the other way with a positive attitude and with an action plan to move forward. Now, no matter how many amazing types of supports that are out there, as I already mentioned, maybe it's a therapist, a healer, a coach, maybe it's a workshop, maybe it's, joining a peer support group, maybe it's volunteering online for now. No matter what that looks like for you, whether it's something that you pay for, whether it's something that you're getting for free, Maybe it's picking up a new habit like meditation, and you can start doing that. There's loads of free resources out there. No matter what it looks like for you, if you're not understanding how important it is to prioritize your well-being, especially right now, if you don't understand how important it is to invest in this, then you will always find the next excuse not to do this for yourself, not to make this a priority. And I can hear some of you say that you do believe that your well-being is important, but you always have a but. And let me tell you this, whenever you say anything and you add but to it, you're just completely ignoring what you've said before the but, and you're giving a signal that what's coming after is actually the vital part of the sentence. So again, you're probably saying, I know well-being is important, but I can't afford to invest in support. I'm too busy and I don't have time right now. I'll come back to this later. I have too much work on my hands. I have too much to do. I just really cannot bring up the energy anymore to do this. Now, for some of you, it's the coronavirus that's the excuse. You know, with the corona craze going on, I actually had a conversation this morning with a client of mine who said that he didn't have the time yet, or he wasn't able, let's say, to get to work on our coaching work together because of the corona craze. So I really kind of put him in his place somehow. I really call out his bullshit, because it's really not about this corona craze. And obviously I understand that for some people, this means that they are having more work. They just have a lot more to do. Maybe they are joining helplines or community groups, or whichever way they are trying to support their community. Maybe this means they are actually spending more time and they are working a lot more and getting home late and being really tired. I'm not saying I'm not understanding that. I totally get that. And I'm not minimizing that situation either. It's just that is all circumstantial, and you can always find, even if it's just 5 minutes in your day, like even sitting on the toilet, like, you know, taking a dump, you can find some time to work on yourself in whichever way you want. I mean, I have even created a meditation that only takes 10 minutes and that you can literally do while you're sitting on the toilet. Like, come on, or before you go to bed, or you get up 10 minutes earlier each day and you do it. Like, if you're not doing that and you're coming up with all the other excuses, that's just on you. That's because you just don't want to do it. And it's not because you can't. It's just that you don't want to do it. And you're using an excuse so that you can avoid the inevitable. You can avoid what is actually important, what's actually going to help you, just because you feel like it's too hard to do. You're feeling a lot of resistance towards it. Maybe you're fearing change a little bit. So you're just coming up with any other type of excuse not to have to do it. Now, every time you say can't, you're actually saying you won't. Really, it's just about that. Anytime you say can't, you say that you won't. Just because you feel like it's not that important to you, you don't really want to have it, so you just won't do it. It's not about can't. That's just not possible. Now, in the end, of course, as I already mentioned, it is really completely up to you. It's really your choice, what you choose to do, how you choose to support yourself or not, where you choose to invest your time, what you choose to prioritize. And it's really not about the circumstances, because the circumstances are neutral. As I already said in the beginning of this live, something like a coronavirus is something that you can't control. So it's really about a circumstance that's neutral. It's how you choose to think about it. It's the belief system that you have about stuff like this, about these kind of situations. It's about how you choose to think about it and how you feel about it. That will determine your actions, and your actions will determine your results. So this will look really differently for everybody. If you speak to people, I bet in your direct environment or even just around the world, the circumstances are the same. The circumstances, there is a coronavirus outbreak and it's affecting people. How it's affecting them, that's, dependent on their personal situation. and definitely dependent on how they believe they should handle it, how they believe they should think about it, feel about it, and then those feelings determine their actions and their results. So I really wanted to iterate that there is a huge difference between can't and won't, because again, whenever you say can't, it's just because you don't want to do so. So if you really would want something, you would go out of your way to get it for yourself. You'd even ask everybody and their mother to make it happen for you. You would ask for help. You would just go out there and pursue until you have it. Now, this doesn't mean when it comes to well-being that you don't need it. It probably means that you don't understand how important this is to your basic survival. And obviously there's a huge difference between a want and a need. A need is something that you have to have in order to survive. And a want is a desire, is something that you would like to have and that may fulfill that need, but it's not a necessity. Now, sometimes we're just not really consciously aware of what is vital to our survival just because we haven't understood that yet. We don't know that yet. And just like with anything else, when it comes to your well-being, you won't make time for it, you won't allocate money towards it, and you won't spend your attention on it just because you choose not to prioritize it, not because you think you don't need it, because you probably don't know you don't need it, but really because you choose not to prioritize that. And this can happen on an intentional or an unintentional level. For most people, usually it happens on an unintentional level until something happens and they crash and they really realize like, okay, I really need to do something about this. Like I'm now really truly aware how big this need is for me and now I need to do something about it. The thing is, what I wanted to iterate in this video is now more than ever, I think it's time for everybody to really think about how we can prioritize our well-being. It's really not a time to put your well-being on the back burner as if it were some friend that you know is always going to be there and you're taking her for granted and you'll just get back to her whenever you're ready again. I mean, this sounds like an asshole dick move, but we all have done that at some point in our lives to a friend of ours. So don't treat your well-being like that. Don't treat your friends like that either, but don't treat your well-being like that. Like just put her in a corner and get back to her whenever you're ready for it. You don't want to be a shit friend like that, okay? So it's really time you start being a better friend to your well-being. And I really want you to start today. I want you to start now. I want you to really think about how you can do this. Now, I can help you get started. I have pulled together a couple of resources that I've put on my blog, and it's resources that friends of mine and colleagues and peers have sent to me in the past few days that I find really, really helpful. So I decided to pull the most interesting ones, the most uncommon ones, I would say, and the most helpful ones in my opinion. And I've put them together in a blog post. You can check that over at theunicornmothership.com/blog. So it's theunicornmothership.com/blog, and you will find my my list of resources there that I hope will help you out. Now, another thing I also want to offer you is I want to encourage you to let me know what you need help with. Like if there is anything you need, please let me know. Send me a DM. Let's have a conversation. Because I really want to help you talk through how you're going to navigate this current crisis, how you will come up with a plan for yourself and prime yourself for how you will be able to hit the ground running after all of this uncertainty is over. So I really highly encourage you to send me a DM. Tell me what you need help with right now. It doesn't matter, whatever comes to mind. Like you don't overthink it. Just let me know and let's just jump on a call and then see how I can support you. Like, I can't promise you that I will be able to help you, but I do want to give you the opportunity and myself the opportunity to just try. Okay. So, how to navigate these challenges is really up to you to decide what you want to do with this, but I can help you to come up with a really good plan for you to do that. And what this can look like for you is that we can identify your challenges together and really look at what kind of fear is currently coming up for you and what is really holding you back, because those are the things that you will need to identify if you want to move forward, instead of maintaining a fear-based perspective on things. Okay, so if you want to snap out of that, then I can definitely help you with that. We can also determine how you can come up with some creative solutions for your specific situation rather than staying stuck in uncertainty. Sometimes it really helps to brainstorm with somebody, putting minds together and coming up with things that maybe you wouldn't have thought of yourself. And also we can just look at how you can prime yourself for when this crisis is over, so that you can just really hit the ground running and you don't stay stuck in uncertainty. If this sounds good to you, then really, again, I highly encourage you to send me a DM, tell me what you need, and we will jump on a call together, and I will see how I can help you move forward. Okay, so that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, send me a DM. I'm really here for you. I'm happy to help you. And let's just make this a positive outcome for you rather than staying stuck in uncertainty. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you did. And I will talk to you really soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.